Hey guys, Zykic here, and welcome back to another episode of Antimatter Chemistry with me. Hello. I've done a little bit of work, and it took a long time, but it's a lot of, not hard stuff to do. Um, First of all, in my hotbar, I have a wireless crafting terminal, because I think I mentioned last episode, I was like, oh, I don't have access to the MU terminal over there in my actual house, so I might not put anything over here, which I still might not, but I was like, let me craft a wireless crafting terminal, and it goes all the way to this corner, and I think just a couple blocks that way, and that's kind of the extent of how far it goes, and I'm having to, train myself to remember that I can do that, and I don't have to keep running back to the main house to access stuff, but I did decide I'm going to keep this extreme crafting table here for at least a little bit before I determine, where everything else is going to go. And the main reason, too, I didn't extend the ME system over there is just even doing the ME, or the wireless crafting terminal, was a pain in the butt. It wasn't that bad. I had to make a wireless access point, which, let me even show you guys, because this wireless thing is technically part of a quest in the bonus stuff. So I have to make a wireless crafting terminal, powder terminal, and fluid terminal. I'll make those other two, I'll just never use them, but I did make the crafting one. It's not difficult to make, it is just a wireless receiver, which is a iron, quartz fiber, and fluix pearls, and fluix pearls is fluix dust, fluid crystals, and underpearls. I think we went over how to make all of that before. The next piece, we've made an ME crafting terminal before, and then you need dense energy cells, which is a calculation processor around some more energy cells. And energy cells are just Certus quartz, fluix dust, and quartz glass. All basic stuff. Just took a second to do. Down here is kind of where I'm putting some of the AE2 stuff. And I made these inscribers, and all of these require, using the Tinker's construct. So, the inscriber was an iron gear plus quartz. Or, that was for the calculation, sorry. Calculation press. The logic press is electrum on an iron gear. You got seared stone on an iron gear for the silicon, and then the engineering was diamond on an iron gear. And that's how I got all of those, and then I'm just kind of doing everything in here, so it doesn't take long. But with the ME system, so I wanted to make the wireless terminal, and I knew off the top of my head I needed this wireless access point. But when you click on it, now I did have to make some wireless boosters, which were pretty easy, just ground up some stuff. But I was like, how do I connect to this? And I did just a real quick look up, and I had to make this ME security terminal. And then you have it, connect to that by putting, y'all can't see my mouse, putting this here, and then it would shoot it down to here, and it says it was be connected. The problem I was having is I would add the wireless point, and then I would add this, and the system would shut down. And I'm thinking it's because I think there's only, a max amount of stuff you can have connected at the same time, and I was reaching that max, so I did have to disconnect my little auto thing here, but I don't think it's the end of the world, because I don't think I need this anytime soon. If it's one of those that I need again, I'll hook it up again, but, I still have it technically set up. I just took off this piece here, so... But yeah, so now I have access to a wireless terminal. Yay! Anything else? What did I do? So I've been collecting way too much stuff, because this is always chugging. I have been, this isn't a big thing that I was doing too. These energy cells might look a little different, and that's because I have fully upgraded them using these upgrade kits from the thermal foundation. Upgrade kit. So you'll see that there's the 4 levels. You have the hardened and reinforced, which we've all seen that before. I've been getting those, I think, through the... Oh, I thought I was getting them for something. But anyway, I've had the hardened and the reinforced. I had to make singularium and resonant. Didn't have to, but I wanted to, because with these energy cells, I was trying to think ahead of, energy and, I'm not necessarily running out very quickly, but I was just like, what is, a better storage? And I'm like, it can't be just basic energy cells. I was like, what else is out there? And I reminded myself that I can use these, so the Singularium one, I did need Cryothium dust, and the only way to get Blizz powder is, I don't know where Blizzes spawn. I believe they have to be in an area where ice can naturally form, and I can't find that. I don't think that exists in the world that I have created. Or if it does, it's just difficult to find. But the way that I had to do it was through a fluid transposer with some snowballs, which snowballs I can make using water. I have a ton of water, not worried about that. And then you had to use liquid XP. And I, for some reason, could not, I was just like, I can't figure out how to get liquid XP. I just couldn't remember. And I was trying to remember, I was like, I've done this before in different packs, and my brain just couldn't remember the word drain. But I did eventually, like, after scrolling for a while, typing in experience, XP or whatever, I did remember there's an XP drain, and that could go into some just plain tanks, and it makes it a liquid tank. And y'all see how much XP I have. I'm not worried about losing a little bit, so I was able to do that. And these work like buckets. So I was able to put it in this fluid transposer, which, by the way, is not difficult to craft, and I don't know how to show that. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Compass, Constantin... No, that's for the separator. I want the transposer. Where's the transposer? That thing. There we go. Bucket, machine frame, copper gear, redstone, bunch of simple stuff. So I just moved the compactor up one just so I can use the energy from here so I don't have to put more things down. And I was able to do that and make the blizz powder, and then use the blizz powder to make cryotherium dust, and then the cryotherium dust went into making the singularium kit. Signalum, we've made that before. I've had it in my inventory, and then the one after this is the resonant upgrade, which is pyrotheum, which we have a ton of. Enderium, which we've made before, and lumium, and I don't believe we've made lumium before, but it's really easy. It's just liquid glowstone, silver, and tin. And liquid glowstone, you could just melt some glowstone in the magma crucible. Really easy, just took a minute just because it's a lot of steps. But we had everything, so I upgraded all of these to the max, and now they each hold 50 million RF instead of, I think, 2 million is where I started with. So these have been slowly filling. And I just, like I said, I was thinking of some sort of energy, not crisis per se, but I was trying to get ahead of the game a little bit of, like, I need energy storage. Because I have a feeling I'm going to need a lot of energy coming up with the singularity stuff. So I've also, in the background, I've had these truck in for both the shulker data modules and the wither, because that in turn gives me the diamonds and the wither stars that I need. I know I can save these recipes, but for some reason, having things in this left side of the screen bothers me. So I don't save recipes, despite me using them 1,000 times. But yeah, I've just been kind of running back and forth of just kind of throwing stuff in here, getting my diamonds. I actually have more wither stars than I do have diamonds, but I think it's because the diamonds only give 2 per, the wither matter gives 3 stars per. And I could probably make another one of these and, like, automate the whole process, but I'm not going to worry about that automation yet because there is other automation to worry about coming up, which I think is time to talk about. So let's see, I think that's all I had to jabber about in between. Looking around, I think that... Is there anything in here? No? Talked about that. That was it? Okay. Back to the final chapter. The first thing we have to do is Jimmy Neutron. So we have to get 4 neutron collectors, which, looking ahead a little bit, I know we need to make a dense, a denser, and densest neutron collector. Those work the same way you would think it would. You just make 9 and it makes the next step up. So I did try to get enough material just to go ahead and jump into the dense neutron collector, but I'm not sure if it's enough material for me to do this quest plus the neutronium compressor quest. So we'll leave that third and see where we are with that. But I need to make at least 4 of these neutron collectors, and they require quartz blocks, iron blocks, redstone blocks, and a bunch of these crystal matrices. But I did make enough stuff, hopefully. Ooh, I used all of my diamonds. I didn't mean to do that, but that's okay. I need to do this eventually. So that'll give me 61 crystal matrices, and then from there I needed to hold them in my inventory. So this is going to mess me up for a little bit, too, of the back and forth of having to grab stuff from the terminal and craft it in the extreme crafting. I wish there was a way for me to connect the two. But there is not, alas. And then what was the last thing? It was quartz, and I have a ton of that for some reason. Okay. So let's at least make 4 of these. Can I do the shift? Yes. Ooh, that's enough for 8. What was I short on? Diamonds. That makes sense. Okay. Well, I'll make 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Thank you. Just so we have it, the quest, and then I'll save the rest of this for later. Yay! I wish it gave me stuff. I want rewards for my hard work. Okay, so the next one is Neutronium Compressor, and that compresses elements into singularity, so close to reaching pure matter. And I can't do that yet, because I do actually need neutronium, which is where this comes in, and I don't know. It does not require power. Perfect. So actually, I'm gonna place these 4 down, and I am gonna put them in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna put them down. I'm gonna let them progress, because it seems like that's gonna take a second. I'm hoping when they're the dense versions, they're a lot faster. Because if I can get enough diamonds to go ahead and do this, that might be beneficial. I'm hoping it's 9 times faster. That would make sense. Or maybe 10 to have that extra little boost. If I end up making the dense one and it's only like not half as fast, but like 1.5 times as fast, then this is bull. So, but we shall see. I do need more diamonds. Is that what I was making in here? Hello? Hello? I made 58 more. I don't know if that's enough, because I had over 1,000. This is very diamond heavy, and the only thing I can't figure out for the life of me is more how to automate diamonds. It's the only thing I can think of, which y'all, if you've played this pack before, you can let me know. I have made the quantum quarry as per requested of the pack. There is also the laser drill from Industrial Foregoing, and I did look up how to do that. These recipes don't seem necessarily hard, and from what I'm understanding, it should be a little bit more energy efficient, but I don't know if it is in reality. Should I just stick with the quantum quarry and just actually make something that gets enough power? Because I'm not going to do it right now, obviously, but there is a quest to make the rainbow generator. I've made that before in a past pack. It's not that hard. It just takes a while to get all the material for it, but I believe that's supposed to make, like, it's something million RF per tick. I don't think it tells me in the pack, unfortunately. Let me see. No, it does not. It's something, I want to say it's 25 million, but I'm probably very wrong about that. But it's something crazy, so that's also kind of where my energy cells were coming from, because if we make that, I want something to store all that energy, because I can always make more of these energy cells if I just make a lot of the material needed for it in the first place instead of doing exact numbers, because I'm weird. Yeah. But that way I could power this and just have it go on forever to get some more material so I don't actually have to do the mining. But if the laser drill is more efficient, even though it takes up more space, then of course I would like to do that, because that also gives me the opportunity to choose lenses that choose kind of more ore specific. Where the quantum quarry, I believe, I can put biome specific. Like if I want emeralds, I can specifically say a mountain biome or extreme hills, but I don't think I can choose anything past that. Also, I put the sufficiency 4 book in there. I don't know if that's actually doing anything. I didn't notice a difference when I had it on, because I did try it again earlier and then was like, nah, that's not doing what I want. But yeah, I just, like, if y'all have any advice of, like, is the laser drill actually worth it? Is it worth pursuing? Is it better? Or is it comparable? Like, I obviously don't want to make the laser drill, because you make the laser base and then you make a ton of laser drills. I want to say the number is, like, you can make up to 56 drills. But if it consumes more power without actually having much of a benefit, then obviously I don't want to do that either. The pack is not requesting it, but that doesn't mean it's not better. I don't know. Anyway, I just want to see if there's a better way to automate diamonds outside of doing this, unless the only other option I would have is I can get more of these shulker data modules and just have multiple of these running. And that's all I got. I think that's all I got. I don't really know what to pursue, because I don't want to put hours and hours and hours upon a certain thing and it not end up actually being any better, and it's kind of hard to tell. I don't want to watch other people play this pack, because I don't want to spoil something, and I also don't want to do something super unorganically, Because I do, like, if I see someone do something, I'm obviously just going to copy exactly what they did because it worked for them and I don't want to change it up in the fear that it won't work. But if I learn how to do it myself, then I have, like, a better freedom or understanding. Even if it's not as efficient, I have a better understanding of how and why it's working and not just, I put X, Y, and Z together and it works because it does. But anyway, let's see. I have everything else. I have the iron, I have the redstone, I have hoppers. In fact, I think I only have 2 hoppers now. Make some more of those. Yeah. Let's see. So I think that would be it. But again, let's go back to this diamond stuff. I needed... What? I had 5. How much is it per thing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just needed 2 more of these. For what I was trying to do. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that should be enough, theoretically, for me to do this. Yes. Got extra of those, and that's fine. So I got 5 more of those. Alright. Let's go see what has been collected, if anything. We got 1! Try not to think about it. I'm trying not to. And now it's almost at halfway, so I don't want to break these quite yet. But that does take a while, because so each of these little piles, let's see, makes 1 nugget, which, oh, I can use a pile to make stew. Or meatballs. Great. Anyway, so each of these piles will make 1 nugget. Well, 9 of these piles will make 1 nugget, and then I need 9 of those to make an ingot, because, yeah. And what I need for the recipe... Not that one. This one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I need 25 ingots. So 25 times 9 is going to be 225, right? Yes. And then times that by 9 is 2025 of these little suckers. This is what I was talking about before, where it's like, I'm very excited that we're in the last chapter of this pack, but it's going to be kind of like very drug out of how long each individual quest is going to take, I think. I'm going to let this finish the last 25%, and then I'm going to go ahead and craft the dense one and kind of see if that's any quicker, because this is not quite a percentage per second. It's what? 1, 1, 2... 3. Is it about 2.5, 3? I don't know. I'm not doing the exact strength of it, but that means it takes more than a minute per thing, and if this doesn't 9 times as fast, I don't know. It's like, I get having the dense thing, but if it's like, if having 9 of these is just as quick as having one of those, I guess it saves space, but that would pretty much be it, I think. I don't know. I'm just yapping. I didn't do any research on this. I want to learn. I want to learn. Let's see. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Okay. Grab these, and then I get to break these. And then I think I can... These just craft normal, right? I don't have to go to the extreme? Yeah. Cool. That's 2 quests. How fast are you? I'm hoping. Maybe it gives me more neutrons? Because that's not any faster. Maybe it'll give me nuggets. If this gives me nuggets, I'll kind of take that. Wait, it might give me nuggets. Because if 9 of these make a nugget, 9 machines should just straight give a nugget, right? So it is 9 times as fast. Okay, that's got to finish what it's doing. It's got to finish what it's doing. I'm going to let it go, and we're going to think about something else for the next 2 minutes. Okay, let's see. So I talked about the diamond thing. I talked about the diamond thing. I talked about the energy thing. Let's see. Okay. We will have to craft that. Also, is there a difference between the infinity compressor and the normal compressor? Is it faster? Because the recipe doesn't tell me that. I don't know. Anyway. Blech. So we'll have to make a bunch of singularities. This is going to have to go into our automation problem. Now, one of you, as you should, was commented on one of my videos recently, and you're very surprised by the fact that I decided to go with these 2x2 drawers for my setup, and you should be surprised. When I last played Glacial Awakening, the last time I think I've messed with antimatter chemistry in general, I had this setup, and I didn't ever have like a really big storage problem, at least from memory. And anytime I've touched antimatter, even if it's just a little bit, I've always done this because it's like a compact way of doing the table, and I like to have the table because it looks nice, don't it? I like it. But anyway, I am starting to run into an issue with storage. Not with hydrogen, as the person has guessed, because they had the problem with having too much hydrogen. I'm actually having problems with oxygen, carbon, because these are extra. These are outside of, like, my already maxed out, well, not maxed out. Maxed out would have all emeralds, and I don't have emeralds for some reason. But regardless, a lot of these I'm running into the issue. I think iron has been a problem. Yep, that's got a ton of stuff. Like, anything that this has made, I've got a lot of. So, I do think I need to, like, maximize my space for that at some point, but I can't do it in here because it's not big enough, because, what? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tall? Yeah, I can't have 10 drawers. I can fly now, but I can't have 10 drawers going up. So, what I'm thinking, since we're wanting to do, well, that won't work anyway. I was gonna say, since we're wanting to do stuff in there, I could put a bunch of drawers in there, but then it's too far, I think, for the ME system to connect to, at least from the basic way that I'm understanding it. What I might have to do, because we have this downstairs area, I can extend this, because this is below, I was gonna say below sea level. This is below this level. So this is Y level 109. So as long as I don't go above 109, which might actually be this layer here, because I'm at 7, that would be 8, that would be 9, yeah. So, like, I can make stairs going down a block or two in any direction, and might have to do that, because that won't be pretty, unfortunately, but it'll be functional. And I could still have this as the main storage, that's just where the extra would go. Alright, let's see. Did this do the nuggets like I thought it would? It's almost there. My timing. Come on. Yes! Okay, so it does do nuggets. Great. So we'll let that run. So what I think, and what that means, is that the more I make, so this would make, not nuggets, ingots, and then the densest should make blocks? That explains a lot. Okay, because I did the math, in which this entirely could be wrong. But let me stare at the floor for a second. I did the math, like, from scratch, if you wanted to make the densest one. You would need 729 of the plain neutron collectors. From that, you would need 5,103 crystal matrices, which to make that requires 10,206 nether stars and 20,412 diamond lattices. And that is 102,060 diamonds. Going back to the you would also need 14,580 redstone blocks, 15,309 iron blocks, and 7,290 quartz blocks. And when I did that math, I was very, you know, I don't want to say, like, dismayed about it, but it's just like, oh, that's a lot of stuff. I don't have any of that stuff. And now I've made one of these, the dense neutron collectors, which means I still need, to make one of these, I need 9 of the denser, packs of carbon to make 1 diamond. And I have 68,000, let's see, 68,352. If I just say I have 64,000, because that's 64 per stack, that's 1,000 stacks. But it takes 8 stacks per diamond. So that's only gonna make me like 125 diamonds. Does that sound right? I don't know if that sounds right. But that's what I'm gonna go with. So, and like, it's just not sustainable for me to do that, I don't think. So I have to decide if I'm gonna focus on the quantum quarry power or if I want to switch over to the laser mining. And I don't know yet. I gotta do a little bit more research. I see how people set up the laser miner. People don't talk about energy uses very much, or how long it takes to actually function. So I gotta go look at that. But we are at the end of this episode, unfortunately. I can't craft anything with what I've got either yet. The only thing I can do is this pile of neutrons is make a nothing. I can make soup, and I don't have the ingredients for the soup, so ay. Make diamonds. So we are at the end of this episode. If you have any tips, tricks, or anything like that, please put it down in the comments below. I greatly appreciate it. I do know this episode was a little bit more yapping than actually like doing, but like I said, at this point in the pack, there's a lot that has to be done behind the scenes. Otherwise, y'all would just be kind of... We would be here for hours. I've been here for hours. It is currently, I opened this world 6 or 7 hours ago, and everything I've talked about is what I've done in that time. So, yeah. Things will get done. I'm gonna focus on either trying to see if there's an energy thing or the laser thing, and that's gonna be one of the 2 decisions that I'll make in between episodes. But yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!